Hey guys, King of Darts or King, and I'm doing part 2 to my Half-Life video. Well, it's not really part 2, it's more just doing a few of the guns from Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2's arsenal is mostly just the same as the first game, but everything looks slightly different. So I'm just going to cover a few new things, and one of the things I did in the last video that I came up with some new Nerf blasters that resemble it. So this video is going to be pretty short, and I didn't want to disappoint anyone, so I'm just going to say it right now, just to, so everyone knows this video will be shorter than the last one, and I'm sorry about that. This one was rushed, and I was trying to make sure it was perfect, and then I ended up making it shorter than it needed to be, so here we go. First, for the MP7 from Half-Life 2 is the Modulus Mediator. The Mediator is a weird pump-action magazine-fed guy. It's like if someone took a Rampage and smashed it into the shape of a Retaliator. You can't see it, but their magazine is, the magwell is off to the side. It's pretty good. I'd recommend it. Very good. Second, for the MP7 is the Rev Reaper. The Rev Reaper is a wacky thing. It's flywheel powered, but it doesn't take batteries, and it doesn't have a trigger. It requires you to move the handle of the bottom back and forth really fast, and that makes it shoot. It's very, very loud, very, very big, and the magazine is on the top. I like it because it's in Zombie Strike colors. Don't judge me. Last, for the MP7 is the Strife. The Strife is just regular old basic flywheel greatness. It's semi-automatic, pretty nice. It does take batteries unlike the Rev Reaper, and it works great. That's all I can say about it. It's pretty basic. I recommend you get one. If you don't have one, get one. Even if you don't want to have one that looks like the MP7, just get one. First, for the AR2 is the Busby Tommy 20. It's an off-brand blaster, but it's great. It resembles the AR2 visually a lot, and it actually functions like it because it's full auto. I've heard it's a bit janky and weak, but I'd recommend it 10 out of 10. I've never used this one before. Second, for the AR2 is the Nerf Infinus. The Nerf Infinus is awesome. It comes with a drum magazine, it's full auto, and you can load it externally. It has a hole in the back where you can load darts into it, and it will automatically load them into the magazine or drum that you are using. It is perfect. It is so much better than the Tommy 20, but it doesn't resemble the AR2 as much. I had to include the Hyperfire. The Hyperfire looks even less like the AR2. It's just a weird sci-fi ugly gun. I appreciate that Nerf decided to make something that looked weird, like extremely weird. I mean, it's full auto and it works fine and it belongs on this list definitely. You just can't load it like you can the Infinus, so it's not as good in my opinion. But you should still get one if you can find one for a good price. Get a Hyperfire. The Spaz 12, the only returning weapon from Half-Life 1 that reappears in Half-Life 2, completely unchanged in any possible way. I'm glad to see it back, so that means that I get to cover it a second time. I've added onto the list since the first video, so if you'll just listen for a second and get past the ones that I've already mentioned that resemble the Spaz 12, then I can get on to the new ones that resemble it. First up for the returning Spaz 12 is the Mega Double Breach. It uses Mega Darts, as the name would imply, and it has an internal capacity of 2 Mega Darts. It has a dart holder on the outside that holds 4 Mega Darts to make loading this slightly easier. I wouldn't recommend this. I'd recommend the Nerf Cyclone Shock because it has a higher capacity, but if you want to get something that looks like the Spaz 12 and fires Mega Darts, I would recommend the Double Breach. Second is the Alpha Strike Tiger. The Alpha Strike Tiger has no screws and is entirely made out of pieces of plastic that are clipped and glued together. So if it has some sort of mechanical problem or you need to upgrade it, it is not possible to take it apart without breaking it in ways that it cannot be put back together. Also, it doesn't have the dart holder that the Double Breach has, and it fires elite darts. So it's just a worse Double Breach that fires easier to come by ammo. Half-Life's shotgun has an alternate fire where it will fire 2 shots at the same time. There is a Nerf blaster called the Rival Atlas that can do the exact same thing. Well, it only fires 2 shots at the same time. I guess you could load in 1 and then it would fire 1 at a time, but it would be really inefficient just to constantly reload it. So you could get it. It doesn't really resemble the Spaz 12 too much. Like, it's similar, even though the mag tube is above the barrel, which kind of irks me a bit. I'd say it's pretty good. Recommend it. Also, if you wanted your Spaz 12 to take magazines, then they do make 3D printed kits for the Rampage that can turn it into a near perfect looking Spaz 12. But I don't own one of the kits myself, so I can't recommend it, so it's all up to you. Okay guys, so I'm sorry that this video was kind of short. These videos are getting shorter because I'm running out of ideas. If you want to see the other guns from Half-Life 2 that I didn't mention in this video, then you can watch the last Half-Life video. Again, the guns in Half-Life 1 and 2 are pretty much the same functionally, most of them. In Half-Life 2, they're altered and replaced with different guns that resemble the originals. So, see you guys. Come on, I mentioned the Rev Reaper in this video, and I really like the Rev Reaper, so I had to do it.